Hello, everyone. Welcome to this Energy Quick Chat where we rub minds with stakeholders and players in the energy market. The International Energy Agency latest report on global electricity demand underscores the need for massive investment in clean energy technologies and grid infrastructure. This is especially true for Africa, where electricity demand is climbing on the back of rapid population growth, urbanization, and other key factors. I am now joined by Nhede, Industry Analyst at Energy Capital and Power, to give us his industry insights on this and more. Nicholas, it's good to have you here on the show.
Thank you for having me, Justina, and it's a pleasure to be here.
So, Nicholas, what are your key takeaways from the EAs Global Electricity Report?
Okay, so if you look at the report, some of the key takeaways in regards to Africa is that electricity demand in Africa is going to increase, and they state that it's going to increase by 4% through to 2026. And if you look at the market, what are some of the factors that are driving this energy demand? We see more African countries wanting to boost energy access and ensure energy security. For why? For industrialization and economic growth. We have countries such as Egypt, such as Tunisia and Morocco that already have 100% energy access, but we see these countries wanting to maintain that stature. At the same time, we also have countries like Ghana, like Gabon, like South Africa and Kenya. They have ambitious targets to achieve 2030 universal target. So we see them investing more in power generation. Then on the other hand, we have countries like Nigeria, where 4 people out of 10 don't have access to electricity. And we have people in Malawi where the rate is very low. We see governments in those countries wanting to boost energy access to their people. Again, the report also states that 2/3 of this growth, of this energy growth, will come from renewables, and the remainder will come from gas. So in terms of renewables, we see Africa is progressing very well in terms of deployment. This week alone, we have AG started the construction of a 75 megawatt solar facility in South Africa. The South African government is also deploying its multi-billion just energy transition plan using funding from the likes of the US and the European governments. And we also have United Arab Emirates countries coming in with their companies such as Mazda and Amia, deploying very large-scale renewable energy projects in Africa. Then in terms of gas, I see there's a lot of potential that Africa can use from gas. We have countries such as Ghana, which is drawing closer to its access using gas. We also have Senegal and Mauritania yet to start the GTA in the coming months. We see a lot of potential coming from that project. And we have the Republic of Congo. We want to use the Baleine field to grow their energy access. And then in Mozambique, they started the Coral SUV. In the moment, they are only deploying to international markets. But we see projects with Mozambique Energy by Total Energies and projects such as Timana Gas Power playing a crucial role in boosting the country.
Right. You made very crucial, very strong points there about giving a robust outlook and looking at review of that report. Now, there is a supply problem. And Africa's electricity demand is surging and outpacing the supply. What is the global trend you're seeing out there?
So in terms of Africa, it's the inadequate infrastructure and the investment challenges that are causing this, that are resulting in supply outpacing demand. But if you look at it at a global scale, it's not in Africa only. It's happening everywhere. It's a global trend. We have countries in Latin America and we have countries in Asia. For instance, India has a massive population, resulting in massive energy demand. China itself, second world's biggest economy, it is a massive population and several economic activities which are resulting in energy demand increasing. That's why you see them sometimes they are resorting to coal to meet this demand. We have a lot of countries in Latin America where supply shortages are as similar as in Africa. So it's a global trend. It's not Africa only.
Right. Now, what strategies are workable for Africa to raise electricity supply for its growing population, and how do we bridge that infrastructure gap?
First of all, I think everything starts with the policy. Africa needs to enact the policies that are friendly to investors. If the policies are friendly, we see more private investors coming, not only from the international markets, but within Africa itself. There's a lot of investors within the private sector that can come, that can chip in, only if investor-friendly policies are adopted. There's also a role that multilateral development banks such as the AFDB can play. They are playing at the moment, but I see there is more potential for them to increase their contribution to the African energy market growth. And then international collaboration. International markets, they have the technologies, they have the funding. So if Africa can maximize collaboration with global partners, I see more potential. I see more growth in the energy sector.
Yes, you put that rightly. The role of development finance institutions, and just yesterday, the IEA released a report and an analysis concerning how much investment is still needed from the private sector, from development finance institutions into the energy sector. Now, what level, when we look at these investments, at what level of investment do you think is needed in Africa's energy sector? It cannot be overemphasized that the global financial architecture needs to be stronger. But what form of energy should be more prioritized, especially when we are looking at this transition?
I think there is need for more private public sector participation. The governments cannot do it alone. The private sector cannot do it alone. So if there is more collaboration, I think there will be growth. And in terms of which energy needs to be prioritized, no one energy resource can do it alone. Africa needs to adopt a more diversified approach. As much as renewable energy are the future, fossil fuels, including coal, gas, and oil, they have a big role to play in Africa. So I think there is need for a more diversified approach. That's what the international markets are doing. They've diversified their energy. We have Germany there going big in terms of wind. We have Poland still maintaining their core growth, and we have Norway going big into oil and gas. This is all just to maintain a diversified energy portfolio for Europe as a whole. Then we also have France. They're going big in terms of nuclear. So I think Africa needs to do the same. We have countries like Mozambique, which have massive potential in gas. We have countries like South Africa, which has massive potential in coal and in wind and in sun. And then we also have massive potential of geothermal in Kenya. We have countries such as Uganda, Egypt, also going big in terms of nuclear adoption, partnering with the Russian companies to develop nuclear power generation capacities. So I think that way itself provides Africa an opportunity to diversify its energy as well as ensure that the supply of its electricity, not only the country, the region, but Africa as a whole needs to integrate. Okay. Africa is at the moment they are in the right direction, but I think more needs to be done in terms of the policies. The policies should not just focus on maximizing renewable energy production or fossil fuel energy production, I think there is need for more investments in transmission infrastructure. Because if you look at it, for instance, in South Africa has massive potential of wind in other parts and massive potential of solar in other parts. Then there are other regions which don't have any potential to generate electricity. So if you generate renewable energy on the other side and then we don't have transmission infrastructure, it doesn't work. Only one side will have enough electricity. So by investing more in more transmission infrastructure, there's potential for energy to be distributed across several regions to meet the security supply. Also, regional collaboration. There's an example of Westgrow. It's a Western Cape development agency. It partnered with the Namibia institution. They are developing a green hydrogen transmission infrastructure that will run through South Africa and Namibia. That's an example of regional collaboration that can be optimized to ensure renewable energy growth, even fossil fuel growth.
Right. Thank you so much, Nicholas, for sharing those insights with us on Energy Frontiers. Nicholas Nhede, Industry Analyst at Energy Capital and Power. It's good to have you here. Thank you so much. And that's it on our Energy Quick Chat. Thank you everyone for taking time to watch. Make sure to comment, like and subscribe to see more videos like this and follow Frontier Africa Reports across all our social media handles. I am Justina Okechukwu. Bye for now.